Welcome back to the No Regret Show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Larry. On this channel, we try to be conscientious about our spending. We try to watch the dollars we spend because every dollar you spend now could be $10 later on. So if you like the content, think about subscribing, joining the channel. Now, I got a really good question from someone, and they asked me, what do you do when you're in your 60s? Because you know I'm a big index fund investor, and they commented on this video where I said, I own everything. Just invest in a total stock market or an S&P 500. And they asked me, what do you do when the market is down 12% and you're in your 60s? That's a really good question, actually. That's a very good question. This is why I'm actually going to plug my dividend portfolio. If a lot of these scammy influencers can plug their options classes that will blow up your account.
Someone said, Larry, hey, are you talking about stock anymore? Like, what are you buying? How come we're not buying anything?
You don't find that suspicious?
And that, and these swing trading classes and these penny stock courses and classes that will blow your account up. Have you ever heard anybody say, I blew my account up investing in great dividend kings and aristocrats? Doesn't happen. Now, index fund investors and dividend fund investors, we're not always going to get along. We're like Batman and Superman, but we both have, one common ground. We want to be conscientious with our spending and our money. So I have a dividend portfolio, $9.99 a month. The dividend members over there will tell you it took him over a year to build his portfolio. It's 30 stocks. I did not do it in a day. I didn't do it in a week, in a month. It took a whole year for me to build this dividend portfolio. And my dividend portfolio pretty much is based on this question. Because when there is a market downturn, you want multiple streams of income. Now, it's your money. I didn't help you make it. I cannot tell you how to spend it, but this is what me and my woman are doing for our future. I'm 44 years old. First things first, I'm headed to work. If you don't have a job, the stock market you shouldn't even be worried about the stock market. I know this seems like a given because you need a job to put food on the table, to keep a roof over your head, but a lot of people that sell a lot of these grimy options classes will tell you you don't need a job, you don't need a career. That is 100% false. To build wealth, you need a consistent stream of income to be able to build this snowball. That is number one. Number two, if you've been investing over a long period of time, meaning this is why I always say it's important to start as early as you can, get your debts in order, and tuck away in investments, pay off debts as early as possible. Because if you start investing in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, even 50s, when you get to your 60s, a 9%, 12%, 20% drop is not really going to matter because you've been doing it so much over the years, meaning you have caught every market downturn. You caught every market upswing. You've been dollar cost averaging every week, every month, every calendar quarter, whenever you have extra money. So a 9%, 12%, hell, a 20% drop doesn't mean anything because what you bought the index fund, example, say you were buying the index fund say you were buying the index fund in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. You get to your 50s and there's a market downturn for like 3 years. You're buying it, 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 right? And then you get to your 60s and the market rebounds. And then there's a downturn again. It's really not even going to reflect in your portfolio. You're still going to be up because you've been buying it for so long. Now, in my portfolio, my index funds, none of my index funds are down because I've been buying them for so long. So a 9%, 10%, 15, 20% downturn is not going to affect me because one, I don't need the money now. And two, I'm not worried about the downturn because I've been buying it for so long and I still have more years to go. Here's another one. I talk about dividend stocks. Now, when you get older, it's important to have income. Remember, I made videos in the past. Your income is your number one stream of wealth building when you get older. A lot of people, when they get older, they don't have income. We went into real estate. We have rental property. but we're not always going to have rental property. And the end of 2026, God willing, we want to stop renting out the place in Aruba. This is why I started building the dividend portfolio from scratch to have extra income. So when we get older, I'm not worried about the market downturn where I'm not pulling from the S&P or my index funds when the market is down. I can ride out the dividends. And remember at the beginning of the video, I said your job is your number one. You need that. Social Security, I built Social Security. I built a 401k going to work if they offer it, or a pension. So we have multiple streams of income. This is why I say income, because when you get older, if all you have is say a couple 100,000 and you're in your 60s, you're going to run into a problem with inflation, because a couple 100,000 now is going to be worth less when you get to retirement. It's going to be worth less when I get to retirement with inflation. We're battling that right now. We're trying to, wrangle inflation. This is why I talk home ownership on this channel. I said, try your best to get a home, a house for you and your family, a condo, a townhouse. Because when it's time to retire, guess what you can do? You can sell that home. You can go more into bonds. You can go more into tips. You can go more into cash. You can go more into dividend stocks. We are in the process of downsizing. We own 3 pieces of real estate now. We own a house in central New Jersey. We own a house in the Jersey Shore on the water, and we own a place in Aruba. We want to eventually sell the place in central Jersey, live down the shore on the water, and have the place in Aruba on the water. With that money, what we want to do is go more into cash, buy more dividend stocks, and you know what? Maybe bonds. If you're hiring cash and CDs and dividend stocks and you have income, you might not need bonds. But bonds are interest paid out by the U.S. government. They're backed by they're backed by the faith pretty much of the United States. So what people tend to do is they go into bonds, they go into REITs. Now, I've made videos on this. If you're going to own REITs, you want to own them. This is your money. You want to own them in a 401k or a Roth IRA, because most REITs are not qualified dividends. You get taxed at a higher tax rate. You want to keep them in a tax sheltered account, a Roth IRA or 401k. All the information I'm giving you is straight from the finance books that I have read ton of them. You can fact check me. Okay. You can fact check me if you want. When you get older, not many people can be all into stocks because they cannot afford the risk. So many people, when they get older, they get wrapped up in this whole growth. I need growth. I need to be in the fastest moving car. I need to be in tech stocks. When you get older, you want old companies, dividend stocks that have been around a long time, that have been on your shelves. You want great companies, Procter & Gamble, Sherwin-Williams. That's examples of companies. I might own them. I might not. Got to join the dividend portfolio membership where I show bank statements. I show buy orders. They will tell you every week. It doesn't matter if it's a stock slice. Larry buys something. I'm keeping that snowball going. When I have extra money, I buy more. When I have a little bit of money, I buy a stock slice. Stock slices are from Charles Schwab. I have Charles Schwab. Every month, I show a bank statement. I don't sell anything. I don't sell anything I should not be buying. A lot of people create tax problems later on in life, and they're constantly jumping in and out of stocks. They will tell you, he's rebalanced one time. I haven't sold anything. That's where a lot of people go wrong. In their 60s, they start jumping out of this stock or this index fund or that index fund. In retirement or in your older years, income, because you can't work those hours that you used to do. Your body can't do it. Your mind can't do it. So owning your home and then downsizing, where you sell, say, a 5-bedroom home and then you go down to a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom because all your kids are gone. Or you want a 2-bedroom just in case your kids come back, or your friends stay with you. Downsizing, having that money to put into bonds, cash, CDs, dividend stocks, that can help you ride out the market downturn. Because I built this dividend portfolio for when it happens again, because it will. You don't know what president there will be. You don't know if there's a meteor headed this way. You don't know if we get hit with another virus. When the market is down 20%, you don't want to be pulling from your nest egg while the markets are at their lows. You want to be able to ride them out. You want to be able to have your dividend stocks, have cash, and then when the market is up 20%, 30%, and everyone's speculating and it's a bull market, then what us long-term investors will do, and I'm telling you, this is what long-term investors will do. While the market is inflated, we know when the market's inflated because we've seen it before. You pull out 100 grand, 200 grand, and then you put that in an account, and then you sit on that when there's a bull market. You sit on that, and then when there's a downturn, you live on that and you repeat the process. That is how generational wealth is created. It starts with generational knowledge. It's not about timing the market with a stock. It's about buying great companies, being disciplined, having a job, and being consistent. On this channel, we do things differently. I have a dividend portfolio membership. Yeah, third time I'm going to say it because these scammy people are still mentioning their stock classes. You've never heard anybody say I've lost it all with great dividend aristocrats and kings. It's always a hot play or a hot stock that blew up or they're down 50%. And dividend investors, if we are ever down in a dividend stock that's down 50% and the business did not change, they're just going, it's just a market downturn. We're doing the rain dance because we're getting that great company for cheaper and our dividends are being reinvested. So if you made it this far, think about subscribing, joining the channel. On this channel, I really care about you guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful morning whenever you watch this. No regrets. Get it.